Hey guys, this is Jex from the RC Rebels clan. You may know me from games like UT3 and more recently TF2. Today, I want to talk to you about the brand new in-game leveling guides for World of Warcraft created by Zygor Guides. I'm actually a friend of Zygor's, and I was given the very rare opportunity of being the first person to test out these new in-game guides. I believe the reason he picked me was because I've always given him a harsh level of criticism, and I've never taken it easy on him when he asked for my opinion. Well, because as a hardcore gamer myself, I want a product that's going to work. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Zygor guides, or guides for this game in general, I'm going to give you a brief rundown of just what we're talking about. Generally, these type of guides come in a PDF ebook format and give you a step-by-step quest path to take your character from 1 to 70 in the fastest time. When Zygor's guide hit the market, it went above and beyond anything that had come before it. Now, the reason for this, I feel, has to do with Zygor's dedication to this project. He really listens to people's comments and suggestions and takes it to heart to improve and refine the guide and make it the best out there. In fact, just within this past week that I've been testing the guide, there's already been some changes and amendments made just off suggestions that I gave to him while testing. So what you're getting in the final product is really a collaboration between several experienced gamers. Now, of course, there's always the naysayers who complain on forums that these guides really do no service to gamers. That all there is to it is simply going into towns, accepting quests, doing them, and turning them in. Now, I don't wish to insult those people in any way, but I feel that's a gross understatement of how the game really works. Blizzard, the company who created the game, wants people to keep their subscriptions active as long as possible, and so they throw in lots of junk quests that don't yield a lot of experience, that don't offer up very good rewards, that take forever to do or are completely out of the way to get to. Zygor's guide allows you to avoid all of these and take the most optimal leveling path available. In fact, I genuinely believe that he has uncovered the very same questing path that the Blizzard staff, that is, the game's level designers, would take themselves if they were playing. If not, it's extremely close. Anyone who has used a PDF leveling guide before knows that it's a complete hassle because you have to constantly minimize the game to read the next step, or print the guide out, which in the case of Zygor's guides, which are 300 pages for each faction, would take forever. Zygor has solved this problem. I started a brand new character, and I've been testing the guide for the past couple weeks, and I can say that once you see this thing in action, you're going to be so spoiled when playing this game, you'll never be able to go without it. And since I think seeing is believing, I'm going to go ahead and show you the guide in action with the character I created and have leveled to level 61 in a mere 6 days played time. Okay, as you can see now, we're in game, and I'm just going to show you how this guide, just give you an overview of how this guide works. When you install the guide, it's going to put a new button over here in your top mini-map. As you can see, there's a new button that says ZG, Zygor Guides, and when I click it, it'll bring up the main Zygor Guides panel. And as you can see, the quests are being listed down. Very easy to read, nicely organized. If you start a brand new character, because this is actually a character that I started from scratch and leveled, it's currently 61, and I started the day I got the guide. If you start a brand new character, it's going to automatically detect what race you picked, and it's going to give you the starter guide for whichever race you pick. I'm not sure what Zygor is going to demonstrate, so I didn't want to go ahead and show that. I just decided I'd show exactly where I was currently. So this is a pretty powerful tool because it's also extremely configurable. As you can see, we have the options button down here, which I'll go ahead and click, and there's quite a bit you can configure in here to really choose how you want it to work. I typically, when I use it, I don't really like this huge panel open because it obviously takes up a ton of space on the screen. So you can actually minimize the guide. And as you can see, it's shrunk everything down. It made it much more compact. And I have the current quest that I'm on. And below that is the name of the quest, the objective of the quest, and then, of course, it actually now tracks exactly how much progress into the quest I've done. So it sees that I've collected 4 of these eggs and killed 9 of these Ravagers. And what's extremely awesome about this guide, and it will really blow you away, is that as soon as you complete this quest, it's automatically going to go to the next quest. You don't have to do anything. Now, just to show you what I'm talking about, what it's going to look like, I'm going to manually change quests. So right here, I can actually manually go back a quest or forward a quest. This is the quest I'm currently on. But as soon as I finish this, it's going to automatically skip ahead and go to the next quest. And this actual panel here is movable. So I can actually click this and move it anywhere on the screen that I want it to be. So I can actually go ahead and put it up here if I want. I typically like it around up there because it's out of the way and I can see what I'm doing. And what's also really cool about it is if I go back to the options, I can turn off some of those. I can turn off the map note text in the mini window and the show step goals because I don't really need that. And I'll show you why I don't need that. First I'll minimize. So now I just have the basic quest, which is it shortens it up a little bit more and it's much easier in my opinion. So if I go ahead and load my map up, before, if you've ever used these guides before, the entire map would be flooded with little dots that had they had instructions of where to go, and then you'd have to look at the coordinates on the actual quest and then find that coordinate and find that dot. Well, now it's much more simple. Only one dot will show up, and that's the dot that you're currently on, the current quest. So right now, this is the quest. It tells go north to 2469. So 2469 is down here, and there's the quest. So here I am. Tells me exactly where to go. No problem. And as you can see, the added information that I just disabled is available right here when you hover. So really, if you ever need it, all you have to really do is hover over the dot. But I'm going to go ahead and move ahead a quest so you can just kind of see how this dot is going to move. So I'll go ahead and move one step, so now it's moved down. And now I'll go a step ahead, it's moved over here. And go ahead again, it's moved over here. So it's actually, it's showing you all the different places you're going to go, but you don't have to see 50 things on the map. And it makes it way more easier to be able to level. So that's basically how it works. And as you can see, it tracks and gets and it keeps the current quest is highlighted and the rest is darkened. And even if you are just starting out and you've already have a character started, you can of course go and go back to any part of the guide. Any of these, you can go back and kind of retrace your steps and get on board with the guide. And you can actually also show all the dots. There's another very cool feature. If you want to see what it looks like with all the dots available, then you just simply turn on show all dots, and so there it is. All the dots are available if you like that. So really, what's cool about this guide, besides just how powerful it is to have an in-game guide backing you up, telling you where to go, is that it's extremely configurable for however you would enjoy the interface to appear. So that's the basics of it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you now. This is a level 61 that I've been playing for about a little over maybe 2 weeks or so, and I'm going to go ahead and show you my played time is 6 days, 7 hours, 38 minutes, and 3 seconds, which is pretty good. This is a PvP server, and I've spent quite a bit of time wasting time, I should say, PvPing. I haven't really been playing for time. I've been rushing through it or anything. Kind of relaxed playing. And I've also hung out at the auction house quite a bit. So even with all that sidetracking, and you know, not really trying to play to get the best time, this is still an exceptional time. Most people couldn't even dream of times this good. So as you can see, if you're going to play this and you're going to play it, you know, hardcore and go through it and not waste any time, you can get time probably even better than that. So I think this covers everything. And if you have any questions, I guess I'll include an email, which is rcrjex@gmail.com. If you have any questions about, you know, my experience with this guide, I'm just telling you, if you are going to be in heaven when you play with this thing. It just makes it so much easier. You don't have to go out of game and track, you know, Wowhead and WowWiki and look up how to do the quest or ask people. It's just all pretty straightforward. So I think that covers it, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing and hearing about how this guide is, and hopefully it'll convince you that you really need this guide, because I'm telling you, it's going to change your entire perspective of this game. Alright, well, that about covers it.